Hey Legends, I thought I'd have another quick sort of sit-down video with you about a decision I've made pretty recently to opt to not have the surgery for my brain tumour. I think this might come as a shock to some, but I think the ones closest to me will probably think, well, that's basically what you've been doing anyway. But to fill you in quickly on, if you don't know the full situation, was being diagnosed with brain tumour. It sits on my left motor strip, just about here, that controls the right side of my body. I was pretty much given the choice of we can go in and try and get the bulk of it out, but you will be left with some sort of neurological deficit, anywhere from having a numbness in my hand to being paralysed fully on my right side, and all the risks that come with brain surgery and the recuperation from a major brain surgery. And that will increase your lifespan if we can get over 90% of it out. And there's no guarantee that we won't get 10% out and you'll still be left with deficit. Or we can track it, keep going how we're going, but you will end up with eventually a deficit from the tumour. But for the moment, you won't have any sort of neurological problems, and I've got none. Well, as I can tell, I've got none. The surgeons ask me every time if I've got any, but from as far as I've noticed, I don't. So that was sort of the way up in mind was, do I want the potential of having longer with the risks of the deficit, or not having those deficit and living shorter? That's an impossible decision to make. That's, who would you rather kill, your mum or your dad? It's one of those. But for the moment, I think this isolation has really showed me that I fucking hate sitting inside doing nothing, sort of in limbo. And I think I've had so much downtime in the past since my diagnosis. I went through my massive mental health issues where I did fuck all. I went through 13 months of chemotherapy where I really did very little as well. Getting back into work, and then this is hit now. I've been locked down for almost a month. And of course that's the right thing to do. And no one, it's not wrong what I've done, but I want to get out and I want to experience things. I want to travel, I want to keep doing my thing. I'm not saying you can't do that disabled, but it would just be such a long process for me. Look, I'd have to learn to eat again, walk again, use my hands again, and I'm not prepared to do that. Especially when we don't know how quickly this is growing yet. We have no idea really. The statistics say if you Google it, it's 5 to 7 years from diagnosis. Well, it's been 2 and a bit. This year I'll be leaving the Defence Force. And look, I just want to travel. I want to travel and take as many photos and videos as I can, so if it does go bad, that there's something left or something I can look back on. If I eventually can't do it. And as well as I really want to share those experiences with you. One of my biggest regrets, I've said this time and time again, is not taking more photos and videos of doing that stuff. So that's pretty much what's coming for this channel. Once this isolation's over, a few admin things with work and veteran affairs and everything, focusing on myself more. I still love charity work, but I need to do some stuff for myself as well. So mainly traveling, getting out amongst it, and finding myself again. So yeah, that's the decision I've made. With operations, I'm opting out of it, choosing not to. I know a lot of people would. And this is what my surgeon said to me. He says, look, you got to weigh up that you're a young guy who loves doing outdoor stuff. He said, if you came in here and you're, it was 10, 15 years in the future and you're a father with their kids, I'd say, let's do the surgery and give you the potential of the maximum amount of time on earth. Because, you don't care about what, how your hands work. You need that time. I don't. My life revolves around doing stuff. I know we'd work through it either way and everyone would support me either way. But for me at the moment, it's my brain, my choice. So doing that. Sorry about the slow one today, guys. Look, I'm really focusing on doing more of these uploads. It's just hard being in isolation. I've got very little to work with other than this fucking head and a couple of microphones. But as always, legends, thank you so much for watching and supporting this. Cheers.